Penny Junor, the book that is causing all the controversy, Charles, Victim or Villain, that you say you've written to actually put Charles's side, because Charles has had a terrible press, that everybody thinks the Princess of Wales was sweetness and light, and that he's now suffering what is a backlash of public opinion caused by her good PR. Why do you think he allowed it to get to the situation that it did? Why did his advisors not tell him what was happening earlier?
Do you mean, I don't quite understand what you mean, that her PR was better than his?
Yeah. But you say in the book, you said the justification for writing the book, you've always said, is to actually make people realise that he's not such a bad bloke.
The justification for writing the book was not precisely that. It was because I believe it is true, that we have only had one account of why that marriage failed. It was Diana's account, which after her death we realised had been very directly given to Andrew Morton. Now, there are two sides to every story, every marriage that breaks down. We only had one. I felt it was important, not so much to give Charles's side of the story, but to actually give a more balanced picture of that marriage based on the evidence of the people who were around, who witnessed it, who saw both personalities and saw what happened and saw the pressures that they lived under.
Yet I've heard you say that you think Charles is quite a weak man. I think he
is weak in some ways. I think he's also tremendously strong in other ways. He is a very complex character. But what I'm saying is he is not a paragon of virtue. I'm not defending him and saying that he had no blame in this marriage. He was insensitive in the way he handled Diana, I believe. But I do also very firmly believe that he loved Diana desperately, and he desperately tried to help and to make her better when she became ill. He didn't know what was going on. He couldn't cope with it. And found the whole thing perplexing. But he tried. He did everything he could to try and make her happy. He gave up his friends for her. He gave away his dog for her. He did what he thought might help her.
But he didn't get her, if in fact she was as disturbed as people say. In fact, people want to paint a picture of her as a totally neurotic woman who didn't know what she wanted. If she was, in fact, like that, maybe he and the people at the royal household should have done more to help her. Giving away your dog doesn't seem to be particularly friendly. I mean, it's going to cause more aggravation.
It depends whether you're a dog lover or not. I think it's a supreme sacrifice. To suggest that the people at the palace did nothing to help her is nonsense. She was given the very best medical attention from a very early time.
But the royal family is completely dysfunctional now, isn't it? I mean, none of their marriages work. They have very little respect from the public of this country. Don't you think it's time, perhaps, to draw a veil underneath them?
No, I don't. I think that monarchy is very important to the health of this country, and I think that there is still, despite what you say, considerable respect for the royal family. I think that these marriage problems and the fact that they've been discussed in public and pulled apart for our feasting is regrettable. But I didn't do that. I was not the person who actually put this whole hung the dirty linen out in public.
No, but you're
the Princess of Wales did that. I am perpetuating it for one last time, quite simply.
To make money?
No, quite simply.
Are you going to give the money to charity?
Please let me speak.
Don't shout at me.
I'm not shouting at you,
well,
but
are you
going
to give the money to charity?
Me.
I'm not provoking you.
Why should I give all the money? I am a writer. I do it for a living. I have children to feed, okay?
Of course.
Now,
and I wouldn't want your children to go hungry, but I would imagine that this book is going to make you a fortune.
May I say why I think it was important for one last time to put hang this dirty linen out? We've only had the princess's view of this marriage. The prince has never defended himself. Did
he ask you to write the book?
No. I'm sorry. Why won't you let me
I'm asking you a question. I mean, we don't have much time, you told me, so I'm just asking the questions I want to know the answers to.
He did not ask me to write this book. I wrote this book because I believe that this man will be our king. We are judging him on one
It'll be an embarrassment for this country if he's our king, won't it?
I'm afraid I do now have to go. Thank you very much.
You don't want to answer the questions?
You
can go. I don't mind. You can walk out.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Penny Junor is now leaving the building. Thank you very much. Did you want to say something else before you go or not?
No, Jane, I should have told you.